Good morning, Quentin Tarantino. Hope everything at home is okay. Welcome to Zekism. We're going to be talking about a story today. Quentin Tarantino has been doing the rounds, I'm assuming, to promote his Kill Bill complete collection that's currently or about to be released in cinemas. I have no plans to watch it, but I probably will because I like Kill Bill. I like a lot of Quentin Tarantino films as well, just for context as well. I like Quentin Tarantino. I think we like the fact he's outspoken, but maybe we should be careful what we wish for, because he's been doing the round. He went on this podcast and basically called Paul Dano the weakest actor in SAG, which is implying he's the weakest actor in Hollywood. So let's get into it. Here we are via Variety. Quentin Tarantino slams Paul Dano as the weakest effing actor in SAG, and the giant flaw in There Will Be Blood igniting fan outrage. I like There Will Be Blood a lot, and Paul Dano is one of the good parts of it. Daniel Day-Lewis, obviously it's his film, but Paul Dano as his son is brilliant in it. Quentin Tarantino is drawing outrage from movie fans on social media for bashing Paul Dano on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, where the Oscar-winning director revealed his picks for the best movies of the 21st century so far. That's a good idea for a video. Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood was Tarantino's number 5 pick. However, he said the movie could have ranked in the first or second slots if it didn't have a big giant flaw in it, and the flaw is Paul Dano. Ouch. Obviously, it's supposed to be a two-hander, but it's also drastically obvious that it's not a two-hander, Tarantino said. Dano is weak sauce, man. He is the weak sister. That's an odd phrase. Daniel is eating him alive. Austin Butler would have been wonderful in that role. He's just such a weak, uninteresting guy. Daniel Day-Lewis shows that he doesn't need a strong foil. The movie needs it. He doesn't need anything. It's supposed to be a two-hander, and it's not. You put him with the weakest fucking actor in SAG, the limpest dick in the world. Jesus. We'll pause there. Harsh. It's an understatement. Harsh and strong take. Look, I'm a content creator, so I've got my opinions. I sort of broadcast them. I try not to be mean, though. I try to be balanced with it. This feels mean and barbed. And for a guy that many people consider a really good actor, like, he's demonstrated enough in previous roles to say, yeah, Paul Dano's a good actor. And he was good in There Will Be Blood as well. I don't get this take. Is he implying here Austin Butler would have been wonderful in that role? He's just such a weak sauce. Doesn't need a strong foil. So is he saying Paul Dano is overacting in that role and is ruining Daniel Day-Lewis's performance? I mean, it's not a take I particularly agree with. I'm not sure what he means by that. We'll see if he goes into more clarity. He certainly goes on. While Tarantino started laughing, Ellis chimed in to say that Dano was quite good for what he needed to do in the movie. Tarantino responded, I am not saying he is giving a terrible performance. I am saying he's giving a non-entity performance. I don't care for him. Jeez Louise. Variety has reached out for representatives for Tarantino and Dano for comment. There Will Be Blood stars Daniel Day-Lewis as an Oscar-winning performance as Daniel Plainview, a ruthless oil baron. Yes, it's a really good film. If anyone's not seen it, by the way, if there is anyone out there, it's a good film. It's a very dramatic film. I drink your milkshake. It had an old Hollywood craftsmanship without trying to be like that, Tarantino said. It was the only film he's ever done, and I brought it up to him, that doesn't have a set piece. The fire is the closest to a set piece. This was about dealing with the narrative and dealing with the story, and he did it fucking amazingly. Sorry for the swear. For what it's worth, Variety gave Dano praise in its original There Will Be Blood review. Dano ranges from politely deferential to frothingly enraptured in a powerful performance as the young man of God. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, he was the sort of evangelical sort of son. Yeah, I thought he was good enough, to be honest. And he doesn't stop there. Because we'll go to the Daily Mail for this. Quentin Tarantino names more actors he can't stand after slamming weak Paul Dano. Quentin Tarantino has lashed out at more A-list stars after branding Paul Dano weak and uninteresting. The iconic director raised eyebrows as he took aim at Dano on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, and Tarantino put 2 other men on his hit list. They are Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard. I don't care for Owen Wilson. I don't care for Matthew Lillard, he says, during the podcast. Okay. Wilson is the star of one of Tarantino's favourite movies, 2011's Woody Allen drama Midnight in Paris. Tarantino did sing the praises of another actor, however, Austin Butler, who appeared in the 2019 hit ensemble film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that starred Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. I personally don't think it's one of his strongest films, but there you go. The Hollywood filmmaker brought up Dano when he talked about the period drama There Will Be Blood, and Dano stars in the film as twins Paul and Eli Sunday. Yes. Poor Paul Dano getting in the neck. Tarantino compared Dano's performance to Daniel Day-Lewis as called the actor a weak sauce. He said on the podcast There Will Be Blood. We've already gone into that. So where does he go? Austin Butler, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, where does he go into? Owen Wilson, Matthew Lillard, bless him. More hot takes from him. During the chat, he named his top 10 movies of the 21st century. He named Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down as the best film of the current century. That's an interesting take. Not saying anything. Tarantino shared his admiration for Scott's war epic, inspired by the real ordeal of a downed Black Hawk crew in the 1993 Battle of Mogadishu in Somalia. I liked it when I first saw it, but I actually think it was so intense that it stopped working for me, and I didn't carry it with me the way that I should have, he shared. He went on to watch the film a few more times, referring to the film as a masterwork. So he does like something. So. This is the only movie that actually goes completely for an Apocalypse Now sense of a purpose and visual effect and feeling, and I think he achieves it. The filmmaker then went on, it keeps up the intensity for 2 hours 45 minutes or whatever it is, and I watched it again recently. My heart was going through the entire runtime of the movie. It had me and never let me go, and I hadn't seen it in a while. The feat of direction is beyond extraordinary. He added to the movie, which stars Josh Hartnett, Ewan McGregor and Eric Bana. I forget how many people were in that film. Yeah, Tom Hardy, Orlando Bloom, Jason Isaacs was in it. The movie received 4 Academy Award nominations and won 2 for Best Film, Editing and Best Sound. It should have won more than that. It is a good film. Scott's legendary directing career also includes Gladiator, Alien, Blade Runner and Kingdom of Heaven. Weird one to add into that list. Tarantino's best movie list also surprisingly included Lee Unrich's animated movie Toy Story 3 in second place. It's a great choice. At number 3 was Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation, followed by another war movie, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. There we go. Here's his list. Where does he go into Owen Wilson? Oh, it's not mentioned why he goes into... He just mentions them off the cuff. Okay, that's fine. He named Paul Thompson's There Will Be Blood in 5th place, followed by David Fincher's Zodiac and Tony Scott's Unstoppable. Wow. The last 3 films on his list were George Miller's Mad Max Fury Road. Great film. Edgar Wright's Shaun of the Dead. Good film. And and Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris in the last spot. Meanwhile, Tarantino referred to his second pick, Toy Story 3, as an almost perfect movie. The last 5 minutes ripped my effing heart out, and if I even tried to describe the end, I'll start crying and get choked up. It's just remarkable. I agree with him. That film is great. Without going into Toy Story 3, we'll go back to his candor, I guess openness, and yeah, we'll put the bless him. Matthew Lillard and Owen Wilson getting in the neck as well as Paul Dano. Look, it's his opinion. We can't say anything other than that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm a content creator online, so I'm not going to slag off Quentin Tarantino for not having an opinion. It is surprising, though, that someone in his position, who does make stuff as well, would be so open with what he doesn't like about films. And I've seen him critique films before, mostly to say that he liked, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. I've seen that on a podcast. I've seen him praise other films as well that he likes, Scorsese things, but he is very much sort of I don't want to say anti-establishment, because he is part of the establishment in Hollywood, to be honest. And it is weird how he's targeted. Paul Dano is a very critically received actor. I think he's a very indie film guy, so you think he would be very much a Tarantino person, but clearly not. Paul Dano shouldn't be expecting a call from his agent to be in allegedly the last Tarantino film that he's putting together at the moment. I'm a wrestling fan, by the way. I feel like this is a bit wrestling. If wrestlers say that it's their last ever match and they're going to retire, there's probably one more in the bank, and you'll see them in 5 or 10 years doing another match. So I feel this is similar with Quentin. He's going to be billed as his last film, but there probably is another 1 or 2 around the corner. But yeah, interesting and hot takes, definitely, from yours truly, Quentin Tarantino. But if you make films, you've got to expect the blowback when, you're open to criticism, I guess. You're open to things that you like, things that you don't like, and it is interesting that he's chosen to go for. I mean, yeah, his film choices are his film choices. I'm not going to go into that because it's his opinion. You know, we can agree and disagree and pick apart his choices, but in the end, I think you have to respect the man for being open and giving his hot takes, as I would or anyone else would. You know, either online or in the streets. But yeah, bless Paul Dano. I'm a fan, Paul. If you're listening, you're a big fan, I know. And I've got nothing else to say other than that. I think bless him. But I think Paul Dano will probably get a few more offers today than he probably would have yesterday as a result of this, because his name's in the ether. You know, he was great in the Batman. I thought he's been great in other films, and I'm sure he'll just shrug this one off. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel as well. We're over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube now. Thank you so much to anyone who's watching, listening to my stuff. Really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.